Hey Jenny, you will not believe what I rabbit-holed on last night. We're talking computer viruses, but not just any virus. The worst one ever.
Oh, here we go again. Mark, I swear you find the craziest things to obsess over. But okay, I'll bite. What makes this one so bad?
It's called MyDoom, and it's not just bad, it's legendary. This thing came out in 2004, and get this, it's still active today, too. We're talking about a virus that's old enough to vote.
No way! Still active? How is that even possible in 2025? We've got, quantum AI cyber defense grids now?
I know, right? But this thing was a beast. It spread through email, and it was designed to turn your computer into a spam-sending zombie. I was reading this report from security.org, and they estimate it caused over 38 times billion dollars in damage.
Whoa. Okay, that's a big number. I'm starting to see why you're so excited. So it's like those annoying chain emails your aunt used to send, but times a million?
Exactly. But it was more than just annoying. It actually launched these massive attacks, called DDoS attacks, against big tech companies. It went after Google and Yahoo. Can you imagine trying to shut down Google? It's like trying to stop the internet itself.
Okay, you've got my attention. So how did this MyDoom thing even work? Was it some kind of super advanced, AI-powered, Skynet-level virus?
Haha, not quite Skynet. But it was clever. It tricked people into opening email attachments. And back then, people were way more likely to just click on anything. John Northen, this cybersecurity expert I follow, called it a wake-up call for the whole world.
I bet. So it's like the digital equivalent of leaving your front door wide open?
Totally. And once it was in, it would just start sending out more copies of itself to everyone in your address book. And it had this payload, that's the part that does the damage, that would launch those DDoS attacks.
So it's like a digital pyramid scheme. But instead of selling bad leggings, it's weaponizing your computer?
That's a great way to put it. It was this whole network of infected computers, all working together to spam the world and attack websites. It's kind of like, you know in those zombie movies when all the zombies swarm together?
Oh yeah, like in World War Z when they're climbing the walls? That's a terrifying image. So MyDoom was basically creating a zombie army of computers?
Exactly. And that's why it was so hard to stop. You couldn't just patch one hole, you had to find all the infected computers and clean them up.
Wow. It's like a digital hydra. You cut off one head, and two more grow back.
Speaking of hard to stop, have you ever heard of Stuxnet? That one's a whole other level of crazy. It was like a precision-guided missile compared to MyDoom's shotgun approach.
Stuxnet. That rings a bell. Wasn't that the one that targeted, nuclear facilities or something?
Yeah. It was designed to sabotage Iran's nuclear program. Dr. Jane Smith, she's a big name in computer security, called it a game changer in how we think about cybersecurity.
Wait, so we're talking about actual cyber warfare here? Like governments using viruses to attack each other?
Totally. Stuxnet was this highly sophisticated cyber weapon. It spread through USB drives, which is wild, and it specifically targeted these industrial control systems used in uranium enrichment.
Okay, that's some serious James Bond stuff. So it wasn't just about spamming people, it was about, physically damaging equipment?
Right. It messed with these things called centrifuges, which are used to enrich uranium. It made them spin out of control and break. And the craziest part is, it was designed to be super stealthy. It hid itself from the people monitoring the systems.
So it's like a digital ninja, silently sabotaging things from the inside. That's both impressive and terrifying.
And then there's Code Red. Remember that one? That one was all about exploiting weaknesses in web servers.
Oh yeah, Code Red, I remember that one. Didn't it, deface a bunch of websites with some message about being hacked by the Chinese?
That's the one. It infected, 1 million computers in just a few days. David Tan, he's a researcher who studied it, said it showed how quickly these things can spread if you don't patch your software.
So it's like a digital wildfire, just burning through the internet?
Exactly. And it even attacked the White House website. They had to change their IP address to get away from it.
Wow. So we've got zombie armies, digital ninjas, and internet wildfires. These viruses are like characters in a dystopian sci-fi movie.
I know, right? And you know what's even crazier? These are just 3 examples. There are tons of other viruses out there, each with its own crazy story.
It's a digital jungle out there. So what's the takeaway here, Mark? Should we all just unplug our computers and go live in the woods?
Haha, maybe. But I think the real lesson is that we need to be smart about security. Keep your software updated, don't click on suspicious links, and for crying out loud, don't open email attachments from people you don't know.
That's good advice. It's like digital hygiene, right? You gotta wash your hands and keep your digital house clean.
Exactly. And it's not just about protecting yourself, it's about protecting everyone else. Because if your computer gets infected, it could become part of the problem,
That's a good point. We're all connected, so we all have a role to play in keeping the internet safe. All right, Mark, you've convinced me. MyDoom and its cyber cronies are way more interesting than I thought.
See? I told you it was cool. And we haven't even talked about the future of malware. I was reading this article on Perplexity AI, and they're predicting that viruses are going to get even more sophisticated.
Oh boy, I can't wait. Maybe we'll have AI-powered viruses that write their own code and target specific individuals. The possibilities are endless and slightly terrifying.
Right? It's a constant battle between the good guys and the bad guys. But hey, that's what makes it so interesting, right?
I guess so. It's like a real-life game of cat and mouse, but with billions of dollars at stake. Well, thanks for the digital horror stories, Mark. I'm definitely going to be more careful about what I click on from now on.
Anytime, Jenny. And hey, if you ever want to hear about that time I accidentally downloaded a virus that made my computer play the Macarena on repeat, just let me know.
Oh, I'm sure that's a story for another episode. But for now, let's just remind everyone to stay safe out there in the digital world. And maybe, just maybe, think twice before opening that email from a Nigerian prince.
Good advice. Until next time, everyone.